Imagine two Koreas, one country split in two. On the border, families remember shared meals and laughter. Yet step north and you're in a world starved and silent. South leads to skyscrapers and smartphones. How does the same people, same land, end up so wildly different in wealth and well-being? What invisible force shapes this divide? Let's uncover why nations like these fail or thrive through the story of power, politics, and the institutions behind it all. Some say geography or culture decides a nation's fate. But Acemoglu and Robinson flipped the script. It all boils down to institutions, the rules of the game. Let's see how the right, or wrong, institutional setup changes everything. Botswana, once one of the poorest places on Earth, shocked the world by becoming Africa's fastest-growing country. Unlike neighbors sunk in corruption and chaos, Botswana invested diamond revenues into schools and roads under stable, inclusive institutions. The secret? Leaders allowed citizens to participate in the economy and politics, not just a ruling elite. Think of institutions like roads and traffic lights. They shape how society moves. Inclusive institutions are wide, well-paved highways where everyone can drive safely and go far. Extractive institutions, narrow, bumpy back alleys controlled by a few where most get stuck or never even leave home. When nations build inclusive institutions, the payoff is huge. Widespread innovation, investment, and trust. It's why small changes in political rules ripple out like avalanches. That's the real wealth that separates Botswana from its struggling neighbors, not diamonds, but the system of fairness. But why do some nations lock into bad institutions? The answer hides in who holds power and how it's used. The dance of politics decides who wins and who loses. North and South Korea once shared history, culture, and tragedy. After the war, the South built inclusive institutions offering property rights, innovation, and political participation. The North, a rigid dictatorship where elites hoard power, crushing incentives to improve. The contrasting fortunes are textbook proof. Political institutions shape economic destiny. Picture political elites as gatekeepers guarding a treasure chest. They decide whether to open it to the people or keep it locked tight. Inclusive political systems spread the keys around, while extractive ones concentrate power and wealth in the hands of a few, stalling growth and opportunity. When elites feel threatened by change, they tighten control, fearing lost privileges. This creates a vicious cycle. Institutions freeze, innovation halts, and societies stagnate. It's like a dam blocking a river. The water piles up behind but never flows freely to nourish the land. You've probably heard geography explains why some places boom and others bust. It seems obvious, right? But the book shatters that myth with real-world contradictions. Botswana sits in a tough spot, landlocked, arid, no seaport, surrounded by some of Africa's poorest states. Yet it's a success story because it built inclusive institutions and concentrated on good governance. The lesson: harsh geography can be overcome with the right political and economic rules. Geography is like the stage setting. It sets the scene but doesn't write the script. The actors, the institutions, determine whether the story is tragedy or triumph. Countries with bad institutions often blame geography, but that's just an excuse hiding deeper failures. Real change happens when nations build man-made systems. Laws, political bodies, property rights, equal opportunity to innovate. These are the levers of destiny, not maps, weather, or culture. Change these, and even the toughest conditions can give rise to prosperity. So remember those separated Korean families. Their fate was forged not by culture or geography, but by the institutions deciding who holds power and who shares in progress. If you want to change your world, start by asking, what rules shape your life? Try this. Next time you see unfair systems, imagine what inclusive rules would look like. It's the first step toward building a thriving society from the ground up. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.